I had Gab bent over my desk, his claws digging grooves into the wood while I fucked him hard enough to make the whole thing shake. We'd been at this for 20 minutes, and I was finally close. That perfect edge where everything goes tight and focused, and the world narrows down to just heat and friction in the chase. His ass clenched around me, and he made that desperate sound he always made when he was about to come. I gripped his hips harder, adjusted my angle, drove in deeper. The door slammed open. "Alpha, we have a—" "Oh, fuck, sorry." I didn't stop. Couldn't stop, not when I was this close. "This better be fucking important, Tyler." My beta stood in the doorway, hand over his eyes like that would somehow unsee his alpha balls deep in the pack's head surgeon. "We've got a trespasser, human, running through the North Territory." That got my attention. I pulled out, Gab groaned in protest, and reached for my pants. Running from what? Don't know, but he's headed straight for the cliff edge, and he doesn't look like he's planning to stop. Fuck. I yanked my jeans on, not bothering with the zipper. Looked at Gab. Sorry. He was already pulling his own clothes on, professional as always. This was the arrangement. We both knew pack business came first. Go. I'll handle the perimeter check. I shifted before I hit the stairs. The transformation rolled through me like it always did, bones reshaping, muscles rebuilding, senses sharpening until I could smell every member of my pack, every tree in the forest, every blood, human blood, and underneath it something else, something that made my wolf slam to a stop in the middle of my house's main hall, head whipping around like I'd been punched. What the fuck was that? Tyler shifted beside me, a massive gray wolf nearly as big as my black one. Problem? The mind link was clearer between pack members when we were wolves. I shook my head. No, lead the way. But that scent, that fucking scent underneath the blood, it was... I pushed it aside and ran. We found the human half a mile into our territory, stumbling through snow that came up to his knees. He was wearing a thin jacket, not nearly enough for December in the mountains, and jeans that were soaked through. No hat, no gloves. His hands were blue. He also wasn't slowing down even though he was clearly exhausted, just kept pushing forward with this desperate, mechanical determination that reminded me of wounded prey running on pure instinct. Tyler and I spread out, flanking him, getting closer without spooking him into doing something stupid. The human's head jerked up. He saw us, two massive wolves, each easily 160 pounds, stalking through the snow, and instead of running, instead of screaming, he just stopped, like he'd used up everything he had just getting this far. I shifted back to human form. The cold slammed into me, 15 degrees, and I was standing naked in the snow, but I ignored it. Hey, you're on private property. The human stared at me. Up close, I could see he was young, mid-20s maybe, thin in a way that said he'd missed too many meals, dark hair plastered to his forehead with sweat despite the cold, and his eyes were the color of storm clouds, and they were completely empty. "I know," he said. His voice was hoarse. "I'm sorry. I'll keep moving." He took another step and his legs gave out. I caught him before he hit the ground, and the second my hands touched his arms, the second his scent hit me full force without the snow and wind dispersing it, my wolf exploded. "Mate, mate, mate! Ours, mine! Claim him, bite him, keep him!" Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, the human was my mate. I'd been inside Gab 20 minutes ago, chasing my own pleasure, completely unaware that my actual mate was dying in the snow half a mile away. "I'm fine," the human mumbled, trying to push me away. His hands left bloody smears on my chest. "Just need to rest for a second." "You need a hospital." I scooped him up. He weighed nothing, all bones and angles, and looked at Gab. "Get to the hospital. Tell them to prep an emergency room. Tell Clara we're coming in hot." Tyler shifted and ran. The human was shaking in my arms. Not struggling, just shaking, like his body was finally acknowledging that what had been ignoring, that he was hypothermic and exhausted and hurt. "What's your name?" I asked, already running back toward the main road. "Doesn't matter. They'll find me anyway." "Who will find you?" "Everyone." He said it like it was inevitable, like he'd already given up. "Not if I have anything to say about it." I held him closer, trying to share body heat. "You're safe now, I promise." He made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Nobody's safe." Then he passed out. The Pack Hospital sat near the center of our territory, a massive facility that could handle anything from routine checkups to major trauma. With over 50,000 Pack members spread across the mountain range, we needed it. I burst through the emergency entrance, still naked, still carrying my unconscious mate. Clara! She was already there, scrubs on, team assembled. Exam room 3, now. I laid him on the table as gently as I could, stepped back to let them work.
Severe hypothermia, Clara said, already checking vitals. Frostbite on extremities, multiple contusions. She peeled back his jacket sleeve and I heard her sharp intake of breath. Kade? I looked. His arms were covered in scars, some old and faded, some newer, systematic, deliberate. Someone had been hurting him for a long time. My wolf snarled, wanting blood, wanting to tear apart whoever had done this. Save him first, I said, forcing my voice to stay level. We'll deal with the rest later. His core temp is 89 degrees. We need to get him stable. She looked at me. Is he my mate? The words felt both right and impossible. Yes. Her expression softened. Then you should probably put some clothes on before he wakes up and has a heart attack. Right. Still naked. Tyler appeared with sweats and a shirt. I dressed quickly, eyes never leaving the human on the table. What do you need? Tyler asked. Track his scent backward. Find out where he came from. I forced myself to think tactically, even though every instinct I had was screaming at me to grab my mate and never let go. See if anyone's following him, and double the perimeter patrols. On it. He hesitated. His name? I don't know yet. Tyler left, and I pulled up a chair beside the exam table. Clara worked efficiently with her team, warming blankets, IV lines, careful monitoring. The hospital hummed around us with its usual controlled chaos. Other patients, other doctors, the whole machinery of keeping 50,000 wolves healthy. But all I could focus on was the human in front of me. He's stabilizing, Clara said, after what felt like hours. We'll move him to a private room once his temperature comes up a few more degrees. I'm staying with him. I figured. She touched my shoulder. Congratulations, by the way, on finding your mate. Thanks, though it didn't feel like something to celebrate yet, now when he was unconscious and covered in scars. They moved him to a private room on the 3rd floor. Quiet, away from the main wards. I sat on the chair beside his bed and waited. The Pack brought me food. I ate mechanically, not tasting it. Brought my phone. I handled urgent business via text. Brought me reports. No one following him. His trail started about 10 miles south. Looked like he'd been running for hours. I absorbed the information and filed it away. Everything else could wait. Gab showed up around hour 5, still in his surgical scrubs from an earlier procedure. Sat in the other chair without asking. You doing okay? No. Yeah, stupid question. He was quiet for a moment. For what it's worth, I'm not upset about earlier. We both knew what that was. Physical release without complications, I said, repeating what we'd agreed on when we started the arrangement 2 years ago. Right, and now you found your mate, so the arrangement ends. No hard feelings. I looked at him. Gab was a good guy. Brilliant surgeon, good friend, good lover when we needed to blow off steam. We never confused sex with anything deeper. But now, looking at my mate unconscious in the bed, I couldn't even remember what it felt like to want anyone else. I'm sorry I didn't feel it sooner. If I'd known he was out there. You can't predict mate bonds, Kade. They happen when they happen. What you can do is be there for him now, when he wakes up. If he wakes up. When he wakes up, Gab corrected firmly. Clara says he's young and resilient. He'll wake up. I wanted to believe that. He woke up screaming. 1 second he was still, the next he was thrashing, eyes wild, fighting against the blankets like they were restraints. I was across the room in an instant, hands up, careful not to touch. You're safe, you're safe. Nobody's going to hurt you. He didn't hear me, just kept fighting, breathing in harsh, panicked gasps, looking for exits. Hey, listen to my voice. You're in a hospital. You collapsed in the woods and we brought you here. I kept my tone calm, steady, non-threatening. You're safe.
His eyes finally focused on me, storm gray, wide with terror. "Where am I?" His voice was raw. "Mountain Pack Hospital. You're in private room on the 3rd floor. I'm Kade. I'm the Alpha here. You're safe." "I need to leave." He tried to stand and his legs immediately buckled. Every instinct I had screamed at me to catch him, to wrap him in my arms and never let go, to protect him from everything, including his own fear. I stayed exactly where I was. He caught himself on the bed rail, breathing hard, looking at me like the threat. And maybe I was. 6'4", 220 pounds of muscle, covered in the tattoos that marked me as Alpha. To him, I probably looked like every nightmare he'd run from. My wolf was howling, mate scared, mate hurting, fix it, protect him. I couldn't protect him from me. "Please don't run," I said quietly. "It's 15 degrees outside and there's a storm coming. You'll die if you go back out there. Better than staying here." That hurt more than it should have. Why? Because people don't help for free. He was shaking, from cold or fear or both. "What do you want from me?" "Everything. Your trust, your heart, forever." I said, "Nothing. I just want you to rest until you're healthy enough to make decisions." "Right. And then what? You'll just let me walk out?" "If that's what you want, yes." He stared at me like I was lying, like kindness was a trap he'd fallen for before. "I know you don't trust me," I said. "I know you have no reason to, but I'm telling you the truth. You can stay as long as you need. No strings, no expectations, just safety." "Why?" he whispered. "Why would you do that?" "Because you're mine, because my wolf chose you, because I'd burn the world down before I let anyone hurt you again." I said, "Because everyone deserves to be safe, and you clearly haven't been safe in a long time." His eyes welled up. He blinked hard, forcing the tears back. "I don't even know your name." "Kade Rivers, Alpha of the Mountain Pack." I gestured slowly toward the chair. "Can I sit down? I won't come any closer than this, I promise." He watched me like a trapped animal as I sat, carefully, slowly. "What's your name?" I asked. He hesitated, like even that was dangerous to give away. "Eli." "Eli?" I tested it. My wolf purred. "Our mate. Eli. Ours." "Okay, Eli, here's what's going to happen. You're going to rest here until you're medically cleared. Clara, she's your doctor, is going to make sure you're healthy. And when you're strong enough, we'll talk about what you want to do next. And if I want to leave, then you leave. It would kill me, but I'd let him go. But at least let us make sure you're healthy first, please." He stared at me for a long moment, then slowly, painfully lowered himself back onto the bed. "Okay," he whispered, "but I'm only staying until I'm better." "That's fine." We both knew he had nowhere to go, but he needed the illusion of control, and I'd give him anything that made him feel safer. He laid back down, curled on his side, watching me. "You should sleep. Your body needs to recover." "You're not going to leave." It wasn't a question. "No, I'm not." "Why not?" "Because you're my mate, and leaving you alone feels like tearing off my own skin." I said, "Because you're under my protection, and I don't leave people alone when they're scared." "I'm not scared." Another lie. I could smell his fear from across the room. "Okay," I said gently, "but I'm still staying." He watched me for another minute, then closed his eyes. He was asleep in seconds, his body finally giving in to exhaustion. I sat in the chair and watched him breathe, memorized the curve of his face, the dark lashes against pale cheeks, the way his hands stayed fisted even in sleep. "Mine," my wolf whispered. "Our mate. Protect him." Yeah, I'd protect him, even if that meant protecting him from the bond itself, from the claiming bite that every instinct I had demanded I give him, from the possessive need that made me want to lock him in this room and never let anyone else look at him. He'd been controlled his whole life. He didn't need another person taking away his choices, so I'd wait, however long it took, even if it killed me. Clara discharged him after 3 days with strict instructions to rest and follow up in a week. "Where will you go?" she asked him while signing the paperwork. Eli looked at me. "I don't know." "You can stay in the guest house on my property," I offered. "It's private, fully furnished. You'd have your own space." "I can't afford." It's empty anyway, and you need somewhere to recover. I kept my voice casual. No rent, no obligations, just a place to stay until you figure out what's next. He studied me with those storm gray eyes. Why do you keep helping me? Because I can, and because you need help. I held his gaze. That's enough reason. He looked like he wanted to argue, but he was exhausted and had no other options, so he nodded. Okay, thank you. The guest house was about 100 yards from my place, close enough that I could reach him quickly, far enough that he'd have privacy. 1 bedroom, full kitchen, living room with a fireplace, comfortable without being ostentatious. I showed him around, pointed out where everything was. Kitchen's fully stocked. If you need anything else, just let me know. This is too much. It's a guest house. People stay in it all the time. A lie. No one had stayed here in years, but he didn't need to know that. Make yourself at home. He set down the bag of clothes the hospital had provided, looked around like he was waiting for the catch. I'll leave you to settle in, but if you need anything at all, I'm right up the hill, okay? Okay. I forced myself to walk away, to give him space, even though every instinct I had was screaming at me to stay close. Back at my own house, I paced, tried to work, gave up and just stood at the window staring down at the guest house like I could keep him safe through sheer force of will. Tyler found me there an hour later. You're being creepy. Fuck off. I'm serious. You're staring at his house like a stalker. He handed me a beer. Give him space. I am giving him space. Physical space, yes, but you're broadcasting anxiety so loud the whole pack can feel it. Tyler sat on the couch. He's safe. He's on your property. He's got everything he needs. Relax. I couldn't relax. My mate was 100 yards away, probably scared and alone, and I couldn't do anything about it without making it worse. How long did it take with you and Sarah? I asked. Tyler had found his mate 5 years ago. She'd been human too, though not traumatized like Eli. About 3 months before she trusted me enough to accept the bond. He took a drink, but she wasn't running from anything. She was just cautious about the whole werewolf thing. 3 months. Could be longer for you, could be shorter. Every bond is different. He looked at me. The question is, can you wait? I don't have a choice. You do. You could tell him, explain the bond, let him make an informed decision. And risk him feeling obligated? Risk him thinking I only saved him because of biology? I shook my head. No, he needs to choose this freely, choose me freely, not because fate says he should. You're making this harder than it needs to be. Maybe, but it's the right thing to do. Tyler sighed. You're too noble for your own good, you know that? So I've been told. Eli didn't leave the guest house for 2 days. I left food on his doorstep. He took it. That was progress. On the 3rd day, he knocked on my door. I opened it to find him standing there in the same clothes, looking uncertain. Hey, I said, trying to sound casual even though my heart was racing. What's up? He paused. Do you have a washing machine? I need to do laundry, but I don't want to impose. Of course, come in. I stepped aside to let him enter. Laundry room's down the hall. Help yourself to whatever you need. He hesitated in the doorway, looking around my house like he was cataloging exits. I'm not going to hurt you, I said quietly. I know, He wrapped his arms around himself. I'm not good at this, being around people. That's okay. You don't have to be good at it. I gestured toward the kitchen. Want some coffee while you wait? I just made a fresh pot. He considered, then nodded. We sat at my kitchen island, coffee between us, not talking. It should have been awkward, but it wasn't. Just comfortable silence. Can I ask you something? Eli said finally. Anything. Did you mean when you said I was under your protection? Right, the mate bond conversation was coming whether I was ready or not. It's a pack thing, I started carefully. When someone is on pack territory, especially someone vulnerable, the alpha is responsible for their safety. So you do this for anyone? No, just you. Only you. Forever you. I'd help anyone who needed it, but I chose my words carefully. You're special. Why? Because you are. I met his eyes. Can that be enough for now? He studied me. You're hiding something. I'm not hiding. I'm just waiting for the right time to explain. Explain what? I took a breath. This was it, the moment where I either lied or told the truth and risked everything. There's something called a mate bond in werewolf culture. Every wolf has one person they're meant for, one soul that fits with theirs perfectly. We recognize our mates instantly." His eyes widened. "And you think I know you are." The words hung between us. "So when you found me in the woods," he was processing, "you knew right away?" "Yes." "And that's why you've been so nice? Because of biology?" "No." I leaned forward. "I've been nice because you deserve kindness. The bond just made me aware of you. It doesn't dictate how I treat you." "But you want," he gestured vaguely, "the bond, the claiming, whatever that means." "What I want doesn't matter. What matters is what you want." "That's not an answer." "Yes," I admitted. "I want the bond. I want you, but only if you want it too. Only if you choose it freely." He stood up abruptly. "I need to think." "Okay. I should go. The laundry isn't done yet." He paused, looked torn between fleeing and being practical. "Stay," I said gently. "Finish your coffee, do your laundry. I'll be in my office if you need anything. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to." After a long moment, he sat back down. We didn't talk for the rest of his visit, but he didn't run either. And for now, that was enough. A week passed. Eli came to my house every day, usually with some excuse, needed to borrow something, had a question about the territory, wanted to know where the nearest town was. I answered his questions, gave him whatever he needed, didn't push. He started staying longer, sitting in my living room while I worked, reading books from my shelves, just existing in the same space. "Don't you have alpha things to do?" he asked one afternoon. "I'm doing them. Most of my job is paperwork and phone calls." I looked up from my laptop. "You're not bothering me, if that's what you're asking." "I feel like I'm taking advantage of your hospitality." "You're not. I like having you here." He looked at me for a long moment. "Why?" "Because you're interesting. Because you make good coffee. Because my house feels less empty when you're in it." I shrugged. "Take your pick." "Those are all selfish reasons." "Maybe I'm selfish." "You're not. You're the least selfish person I've ever met." He said it matter-of-factly. "You saved my life. You're letting me stay in your guest house for free. You haven't pressured me about the bond thing, even though I can tell you want to." "How can you tell?" "The way you look at me sometimes, like you're holding yourself back." He tilted his head. "Does it hurt, the bond, when I don't accept it?" I could lie. Should lie. "Yes," I said honestly. "My wolf doesn't understand why we're not claiming you. He thinks you're ours and wants to mark you, protect you, keep you. It's constant. But you're not listening to him. Because what he wants isn't what's important. What you want is what's important. What if I don't know what I want? Then we keep doing this, sitting in the same room, getting to know each other. No pressure." He was quiet. "I've never had that before. Someone who just let me exist without expecting anything. You have it now." Something shifted in his expression. "Can you tell me about werewolves? Like the real stuff, not the Hollywood version." So I did. We talked for hours about shifting, about pack structure, about the bond. I answered every question he had, no matter how personal. "So you were having sex when your wolf sensed me?" he asked, blunt as always. "Yes." "With Gab?" "Yes. We had an arrangement, physical only." I met his eyes. "It ended the day I found you." "Because of the bond?" "Because I didn't want anyone else anymore." He processed that. "Have you had other relationships before Gab?" "A few. Nothing serious. Wolves usually wait for their mates before settling down." "And you waited 140 years?" 43. I'm 143 years old." His eyes widened. "You're over a century old?" "Werewolves age slowly. I'll live another century at least." I paused. "If you accept the bond, if you let me turn you eventually, you'd live just as long." "That's a long time." "It is, which is why you don't have to decide now, or ever." He stood up, walked to the window, looked out at the forest. "I ran away from my family 3 months ago, left everything behind. I thought I'd die in those woods." I waited. "Then you found me, saved me, gave me a place to stay, and didn't ask for anything in return." He turned to face me. "Why haven't you asked me what I was running from?" "Because you'll tell me when you're ready." "I'm ready now." He told me everything.
about his father who controlled every aspect of his life, his mother who watched it happen, his brother who participated in the abuse, about the beatings, the isolation, the constant message that he was worthless, stupid, weak, about 2 years of planning his escape, hiding money, stealing supplies, waiting for the right moment, about running into the winter woods with nothing but the clothes on his back and the desperate hope that dying free was better than living in a cage. I listened without interrupting, let him talk, let him cry when the words got too hard. When he finished, we sat in silence. "I'm going to find them," I said finally, "and I'm going to make sure they never touch you again. They'll say I'm lying, that I'm crazy. I don't care what they say. They'll come looking for me eventually. Let them." I met his eyes. "They won't get past the territory line. I promise you that." He searched my face. "You'd really fight for me? Someone you barely know? I'd die for you. I'd kill for you. I'd burn the world down if it meant keeping you safe." "Yes," I said simply. "I would. Because of the bond. Because you deserve to be protected. The bond just makes it personal." He was quiet for a long time, then, "I think I need to go lie down." "Okay." He stood, walked to the door, paused with his hand on the handle. "Kade? Yeah? Thank you for listening, for not judging, for just being here. Always, Eli. I'm always here." He left. I sat in the silence and let my wolf howl. 2 months in, Eli started spending more time with the pack. Not at formal gatherings, those were too overwhelming, but with individuals. Clara became a close friend. Tyler taught him about territory patrols. Some of the younger wolves adopted him as their unofficial human encyclopedia. He thrived with the attention, smiled more, laughed more, started to look healthy instead of haunted. And I watched, keeping my distance, letting him find his place. "You know he's falling for you, right?" Clara said one day. We were at the hospital. She was between patients. I was ostensibly checking on facility updates. "He's not." "He is. I've seen the way he looks at you, the way he talks about you." She smiled. "He's just scared." "He should be scared. I'm asking him to accept a bond he didn't choose with a werewolf he barely knows. You're also offering him safety, family, and a man who's clearly in love with him. That's not nothing." "I haven't told him I love him." "Why not?" "Because love should be a gift, not a burden. He's got enough pressure already." Clara shook her head. "You're impossible." "So I've been told." 3 months in, Eli showed up at my door at 2 a.m. I'd been awake. Insomnia was a regular thing these days, and opened the door to find him shivering on my porch. "Nightmare?" I asked gently. He nodded. "Want to come in?" Another nod. I made us both tea. We sat in my living room, fireplace crackling, not talking. "They were hurting me again, in the dream, and I couldn't get away." "You're safe here." "I know. My brain just doesn't always believe it." He wrapped his hands around the mug. "Do you ever have nightmares?" "Sometimes. Usually about losing people I care about." "Like who?" "Like you." He looked at me. "Even though the bond isn't complete?" "The bond being complete doesn't determine how I feel about you, Eli. I care about you because of who you are. The bond just makes me aware of you." "So what if there was no bond?" "I'd still want you in my life, still want to protect you, still want to know you." I held his gaze. "The bond just means I can't pretend I don't." He was quiet. "Can I stay here tonight? Just on the couch? I don't want to be alone." My wolf sang. "Mate's seeking us. Mate trusts us." "You can have the guest room. It's more comfortable." "I don't want to impose." "Eli, stay, please." He stayed. In the morning, I found him in my kitchen making breakfast. "Hope you don't mind," he said, flipping pancakes. I couldn't sleep anymore, and I felt weird just lying there. "I don't mind." I leaned against the counter. "You're good at this." Cooking's the one thing I was allowed to do. My mom taught me before she stopped caring. She plated the pancakes. "These are for you. I already ate." "Sit with me while I eat." He did. We talked about nothing important, the weather, pack gossip, a book he'd been reading. It felt domestic, normal, right. "I like this," he said suddenly. "Like what?"
This, being here, with you. He looked down at his hands. I like you, Kade, more than I probably should. My heart stopped. That's not a bad thing, isn't it? I mean, the bond kind of forces this. How do I know what I'm feeling is real and not just biology? The bond doesn't create feelings, it just makes you aware of compatibility. I reached across the table, stopped just short of touching his hand. What you feel is real. What I feel is real. The bond just brought us together. What do you feel? Everything. I feel everything for you. I feel like I found something I didn't know I was missing. Like my life makes more sense with you in it. I pulled my hand back. But I'm not going to pressure you if you're not ready. I am ready, I think. I'm scared, but I'm ready. Ready for what? For this. For you. For whatever the bond means. My wolf roared in triumph, but I kept my voice steady. You're sure? No, but I don't think I'll ever be completely sure, and I'm tired of being scared. He stood up, walked around the table, stood in front of me. I want to try. I stood slowly, gave him every opportunity to back away. He didn't. Can I touch you? Yes. I cupped his face gently, felt him lean into the touch. Can I kiss you? Yes. I kissed him softly, carefully, like he was something precious that might break. He kissed back less carefully, hands fisting in my shirt, pulling me closer. When we broke apart, we were both breathing hard. Okay, he said. That was okay. I laughed. Just okay? Better than okay. Amazing. He looked up at me. What happens now? Now we take things at your pace. No rushing, no pressure. But eventually, the claiming, the bite? Eventually, if you want it, but there's no timeline. What if I want it sooner rather than later? My wolf howled. Then we talk about what that means. Make sure you understand what you're agreeing to. I want to understand. Teach me. So I did. We spent the day talking about the bond, about claiming, about what it meant to be marked, to be turned, to be pack. He listened to everything, asked questions, thought carefully about his answers. I want this, he said at the end. I want you. I want the bond. I want to be pack. You're sure? I'm sure. He took my hand. I've never been more sure of anything. Then we'll do it. When you're ready. I'm ready now. Eli, I've spent my whole life being scared, being controlled, being told what I could and couldn't do. This is my choice. Mine. I'm choosing you. I'm choosing this, and I want it now. My wolf was clawing at my insides. Mate ready. Claim him, bite him, make him ours. This is permanent, I warned. Once I bite you, once the bond forms, that's it. Forever. Good. I'm tired of temporary. He touched my chest, right over my heart. I want forever, with you. I searched his face for any sign of doubt, found only determination. Okay, I said, but not here, not like this. Then where? My room, where I can take my time, where I can make sure you feel everything you should feel. I brushed my thumb across his cheekbone. This should be good for you, Eli, not just important, good. His breath caught. Okay. I led him upstairs to my bedroom, let him look around, get comfortable with the space. Second thoughts? I asked. No, just nervous. He turned to face me. I've never done this before, any of this. Sex? Sex, intimacy, trust. He wrapped himself around himself. What if I'm bad at it? There's no such thing as being bad at it. There's just being yourself. And I like yourself. You don't know myself, not really. Then let me learn. I kissed him again, slower this time, deeper. Let my hands wander, his waist, his back, his hair. He melted into me, making small sounds that drove my wolf crazy. Bed, I said against his mouth. Demanding. You have no idea. We moved to the bed. I laid him down gently, covered his body with mine. Tell me if anything's too much, I said. Tell me if you want to stop. I won't want to stop. Tell me anyway. Okay. I kissed down his neck, felt his pulse racing under my lips. This was where I'd bite him eventually, where my mark would show everyone he was claimed. But not yet. First, I wanted him to feel nothing but pleasure. I stripped his shirt off slowly, took my time exploring his chest, his stomach, every scar that marked his skin. "These don't define you," I murmured against his ribs. "You're so much more than what they did to you." His hands tangled in my hair. "Kade!" "Yeah? More, please." I smiled against his skin. "Greedy. You make me want things." "Good. Want everything. Take everything." I stripped us both down until there was nothing between us, skin on skin, heat and need, and finally touching him the way I'd wanted to for months. "You're beautiful," I said, meaning it. "I'm not." "You are. To me, you are." I kissed him quiet, touched him everywhere, learned what made him gasp, what made him moan, what made him arch into my hands. "Please, I know what you need." I reached for the nightstand, found what I needed. "I'll take care of you." I worked him open slowly, carefully, watching his face the whole time. "Okay?" "Yes, God, yes, don't stop." Not planning on it. When he was ready, when he was begging, I positioned myself and pushed inside. We both groaned. "Okay," I managed. "Perfect." He wrapped his legs around my waist. "Move." I moved. Started slow, letting him adjust, then harder when he demanded it. "Yes," he gasped, "like that. Don't stop." I had no intention of stopping. My wolf was howling. "Mate! Ours! Claim him! Mark him! Bite!" "The bite," I said, rhythm never faltering. "It happens when we're both close." "Do it," he panted. "I want it. Want your mark. Want everyone to know I'm yours." "You're sure?" "Yes. God, yes. Please, Kade. Claim me." I thrust harder, deeper, chasing the edge. He was right there with me, nails digging into my back, saying my name like a prayer. When I felt the orgasm building, I let my wolf surface, let my teeth sharpen. "Now," he breathed. "Do it now." I bit down exactly as we both came. The bond snapped into place like lightning, a golden cord connecting us soul to soul. I could feel everything he felt, his pleasure, his joy, his absolute certainty. "Mine," my wolf sang. "Finally, forever." I released the bite, licked the wound closed. It would heal into a silver scar, my mark. Everyone would know he was claimed. Eli was breathing hard, trembling, tears streaming down his face. "Hey," I said gently, pulling out carefully. "You okay?" "I can feel you," he whispered in wonder. "In my head, in my chest, everywhere." "That's the bond. It goes both ways." "I feel..." He touched the bite mark on his neck, shivered. "Complete, like I was missing something my whole life and just found it." "That's how I've felt since the moment I found you in the snow." I pulled him into my arms. "Your pack now, my mate, forever." "Forever," he agreed, curling into me. "I like the sound of that." We lay tangled together for a long time, not talking, just feeling the bond settle between us. "So," Eli said eventually, "what happens now?" "Now we tell the pack officially. There'll probably be a celebration. Everyone will make a huge, embarrassing deal about it." He laughed. "Sounds terrible." "It will be. But they're your family now. They'll celebrate you properly." "My family," he repeated softly. "I like that." "There's also the matter of turning you, if you want it." He propped himself up on his elbow. "Turning?" "The bite I just gave you was a claiming bite, marks you as mine, but there's a different bite that can turn you, make you a werewolf." "Would I want that?" "It's your choice, completely your choice." I ran his spine down. "But as a wolf, you'd live as long as I do, be stronger, heal faster, really be part of the pack in every way." "How long do you live?" 200 years, give or take." His eyes widened. "That's a long time." "It is, which is why you don't have to decide now or ever. I'll love you, human or wolf." "You love me?" "Shit, I hadn't meant to say that yet." "Yes," I admitted, "I love you. Have loved you for a while now." "Since the bond?" "Since about 2 weeks after you arrived, when you made pancakes for the younger wolves and let them ask you a million questions about human things without getting annoyed." I touched his face. "The bond made me aware of you, but I fell in love with who you are." He kissed me, soft and sweet. "I love you too. I think I have for a while. I was just too scared to admit it." "You're not scared now?" Oh, I'm terrified, but in a good way, he smiled, like standing at the edge of something amazing and knowing I'm about to jump. I'll catch you. I know. We kissed again, slower this time, just enjoying each other. About the turning, Eli said, I think I want it. Not right now, but eventually. I want forever with you. Then you'll have it, whenever you're ready. Thank you. For what? For waiting, for giving me time to heal, for making me feel safe enough to want this. He touched the mark on his neck. For choosing me back. I'll always choose you, Eli. Every time, every day, forever. Forever, he echoed. I'm going to hold you to that. Please do. 3 days later, the perimeter alarm went off. I was in my office when Tyler burst through the door. We've got a problem. What kind of problem? 3 humans at the north boundary, armed, demanding entry. He paused. One of them is claiming to be Eli's father. Ice flooded my veins. Where's Eli? At your house. Claire is with him. Keep him there. Don't let him see anything. I was already moving. And get 20 wolves to the north boundary, now. By the time I reached the boundary line, my entire pack was assembled, 40 wolves in defensive formation, and 3 humans standing just outside our territory. I recognized him instantly. Eli's father. Same nose, same jawline, twisted with arrogance and rage. I shifted to human form, not bothering with clothes. Let him see exactly what he was dealing with. You need to leave, I said, my voice carrying the Alpha command that made lesser wolves submit. The father didn't submit, just raised a rifle. I want my son. He's not your son. He's an adult who chose to leave. He's my property. I raised him, fed him, gave him a place to live. The rifle didn't waver. And you're harboring him illegally. There's nothing illegal about a 25-year-old man choosing where to live. I took a step forward. My pack moved with me. He's under pack protection. You can't have him. The hell I can't. Dad? Everyone turned. Eli stood at the tree line, Clara and Tyler flanking him protectively. His hand was pressed to his neck, covering the bite mark. Don't, I said, not taking my eyes off the rifle. You don't have to face him. Yes, I do. Eli stepped forward, stopped beside me. Hi, Dad. Get over here, now. His father's voice was cold. Time to come home. I am home. Don't be ridiculous. You can't survive out here with these animals. I'm surviving just fine. Eli's voice was steadier than I expected. Better than fine, actually. I'm happy. You're sick, delusional, living with freaks. They're my family, Eli interrupted. More family than you ever were. I'm your father. You were a man who lived in the same house and made my life hell. Eli stepped forward, and I moved with him. You controlled me, hurt me, told me I was worthless every single day. I was trying to make you strong. You were breaking me. There's a difference. Eli's hand found mine, squeezed, and I'm done being broken. His father's face twisted. You're sick, disgusting, living with animals, letting them touch you. Kade is my mate, Eli said clearly. I chose him. I chose this life, and I'm never coming back to you. You'll regret this. The only thing I regret is not leaving sooner. I felt it through the bond, his fear, his anger, his determination. He was terrified, but he was standing his ground. Pride flooded through me. His father's finger moved toward the trigger. I moved faster. 1 second I was human, the next I was wolf, launching myself at the threat to my mate. I didn't bite, didn't kill, just planted myself between Eli and the rifle, snarling, letting this pathetic human see exactly what I was. The father stumbled backward. His companions were already running. If you ever come back here, I said, words coming out garbled through wolf vocal cords, but understandable. This is your only warning. He looked at Eli one last time. You're not my son anymore. Good, Eli said, because you were never my father. They left. I waited until they were out of sight, out of scent range before shifting back. Eli collapsed. I caught him before he hit the ground. I've got you. You're safe. I can't believe I did that, he said, shaking. I actually did that. You were amazing. I was terrified. You were brave. There's a difference. I held him close. I'm so proud of you." He buried his face in my chest. "Is it over?" "It's over. He won't come back." I looked at Tyler. "Make sure of it. If they come within 10 miles of the territory boundary, I want to know immediately." Tyler nodded and shifted to organize patrols. Clara approached carefully. "How are you feeling now, Eli?" "Like I might throw up, but also like free. Is that weird?" "Not even a little bit." I kissed his forehead. "Let's get you home." That night, Eli asked about turning. We were in bed, comfortable in the silence, when he said, "I want to do it, the turning, soon." "You don't have to rush." "I'm not rushing, I'm ready." He rolled over to face me. "I want forever with you. I want to be strong enough that if they come back, I can protect myself. I want to really be Pac. The transformation is painful, really painful. I can handle pain. I've handled it before. This is different. Your bones will break and reform. Your body will reshape. It takes hours and it's agony. Will you be with me? Every second. Then I can handle it." He took my hand. "When can we do it?" I thought about it. "Full moon is in 3 days. It'll be easier then. More power in the air. Faster transformation." "Okay, 3 days." "You're sure?" "I'm sure." He kissed me. I've never been more sure of anything. The full moon rose bright and cold over the mountains. The pack gathered in the clearing. All 50,000 members wouldn't fit, but representatives from every sector came. This was important. The Alpha's mate was turning. Everyone wanted to witness. Eli stood in the center, nervous but determined. "Last chance to change your mind," I said quietly. "Not changing my mind. It's gonna hurt. I know. You might hate me for a little while." "I could never hate you." He cupped my face. "I love you. Now turn me into a werewolf so we can have forever." I kissed him, then shifted to wolf form. The pack howled, welcoming, encouraging, celebrating. I approached Eli slowly. He knelt down, bared his throat. "I'm ready," he said. I bit down. This bite was different from the claiming bite. Deeper, more deliberate. My venom flowing into his bloodstream, rewriting his DNA, transforming him from human to wolf. He screamed. I released him and shifted back to human as he fell. "I've got you," I said, holding him as his body started convulsing. "I'm right here." His bones started breaking, reshaping. His screams turned howls. It took 3 hours. 3 hours of him thrashing in agony while I held him, whispering encouragement, letting him grip my hands hard enough to break bones. The pack maintained their circle, howling support, lending their strength through the pack bonds. And then, finally, it was done. A wolf lay panting in the snow. Medium-sized, dark gray fur, bright storm gray eyes. Eli's wolf. He looked up at me, and I shifted to join him. "Can you hear me?" I asked through the mind link. "Yes!" His mental voice was full of wonder. "Oh my God, I can hear everyone!" The pack howled in welcome. "Welcome to the pack," I said. "How do you feel?" "Everything hurts, but also amazing. I can smell everything, hear everything, feel everyone." He stood on shaky legs. "This is incredible." "Want to run?" "Yes." We ran. 2 wolves moving through the forest, the mate bonds singing between us, the pack running with us. He was clumsy at first, tripping over his own paws, misjudging distances, but he learned fast. By the time we returned to the clearing, he was moving with confidence. We shifted back to human as the sun rose. Eli collapsed against me, exhausted but grinning. "That was the most painful and most amazing thing I've ever experienced," he said. "Welcome to being a werewolf." "How long until I can do it again?" I laughed. "Eager?" "Very. That was..." He shook his head. "I've never felt anything like it. Being connected to everyone, feeling the forest, running without getting tired." "You'll get used to it." "I don't think I'll ever get used to it." He kissed me. "Thank you for all of this, for giving me a life I never thought I could have. Thank you for choosing it, for choosing me. I'll choose you every time, Kade. Forever." "Forever," I agreed. 6 months later. Eli stood in my kitchen, our kitchen, making breakfast for 20 wolves who'd shown up unannounced. "You know you don't have to feed everyone who walks through the door," I said, wrapping my arms around him from behind. I like feeding people, and they bring good gossip. He leaned back into me. Did you know Marcus and Sarah are expecting? Tyler told me yesterday. And you didn't tell me? I was going to. We got distracted. He laughed. We get distracted a lot. Is that a complaint? Definitely not. I love our life. Yeah? Yeah. I have a family who actually cares about me, a job I love, a mate who's annoyingly perfect. He kissed me. I'm happy, Kade. Really, genuinely happy. Good. You deserve happiness. So do you. I have it. I held him closer. Right here. The wolves in the living room groaned dramatically at our display of affection. Get a room, someone yelled. It's my house. Then we'll leave and you can be disgusting in peace. Please do. They didn't leave, just laughed and kept eating.
Eli smiled against my chest. I love them. They're ridiculous. They're family. Yeah, I agreed. They are. And looking around at my pack, our pack, with my mate in my arms and the bond singing between us, I realized something. I'd been alive for 143 years. I'd been alpha for 20. I'd built a pack of 50,000 wolves and created something worth protecting. But I'd never been truly happy until a broken human stumbled into my territory and taught me what it meant to love someone more than power, more than duty, more than anything. What are you thinking about? Eli asked. How lucky I am. That you found your mate? That my mate found me. I kissed the top of his head. And that he chose to stay. Where else would I go? You're my home now. Forever? Forever. And forever was exactly what we got.
Appreciate you watching. Hit subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next story.